Hello, it's Miss Heather, piano and voice teacher here at Conservatory of the Ozarks, and I'm going to do another recital makeup tutorial. This is for Allyssa, and I'm showing a very close-up of my makeupless face for everyone to see. The focus for this is Allyssa wanted to know about bottom lashes. So I have also, I thought I'd show this concealer stick because I was talking about it on my last one. I have all of this hormonal acne now, which I guess is part of the pregnancy journey if you've been taking oral contraceptives. Then your skin can go nuts once you stop taking them. And so now I have all of these things to cover up all the time. And I thought I'll do my makeup in the camera today because the bottom lashes are so hard to see. So hopefully it'll be helpful. So I'll start with my eyelids like I have in my other videos. I have this palette that my husband's aunt gave me. And I'm going to start with Strange with a big brush here. Again, I'm not trained in this at all. Don't really know. I'm not like educated in makeup, so I'm just showing what I do for myself. And I'll kind of start in the corner and get all of this dark area here and then under my eyebrows. Because my dark circles come like all the way up into here in the corner of my eye. And then I have this same, I use this the other video. It's called Under the Cover. It's from Sephora. And I think it's a really pretty shade of white. Kind of like highlight the top part of your eyelid area. I hear people call this highlighting the brow bone, and I always feel weird saying that because I don't know exactly what a brow bone is or where it is. Seems like it would be up here, and I'm not highlighting that part, but anyways, then maybe we can use, I love this shade Dust. Dust? Really? Is that the name of it? It's so pretty. Dust is a weird name for it, but it doesn't show up very much on me, sadly, but I think it's really pretty. So sometimes I'll put it kind of like up here. Right above my eyeball, I guess. And then this dark heart, this one right here. Take the smaller brush, get it like pretty covered in powder, and then I just like kind of angle it like that. And the other side as well. This particular palette, it seems like the colors are kind of crumbly almost, like they really get under your eyes really easily for some reason. Something about having like really pale shades on the lid and this part and then a darker shade on the edge I think looks so nice. And then maybe this color Trick on the bigger brush. And then I have a pretty big brush here. This is just from Dollar Tree. I'll kind of like blend the top part just in case. Oh, I didn't bring anything to put on my eyebrows. Maybe I'll just try. I have eyebrow tattoos, so I shouldn't need to fill them in, but the lady who gave them to me stopped doing them, and so I can't get them touched up anymore, and I do think they're kind of starting to fade. And she kind of improved my eyebrows, so like where my eyebrows grow and where the tattoo is are not always the same thing. And I'm sad that I can't get them touched up anymore, because originally she'd said you could get them touched up for the rest of your life every year, so they would never fade, but I guess she changed her mind. This is eyebrow gel. It's clear. It's from Ulta. And under my eyes actually didn't get too bad today after I said that eyeshadow is bad. So I have this Ulta primer. I'm gonna put that. I should have put it on first before I put any concealer, so I'll just kind of put it under my eyes probably. I don't always use primer. I don't notice that it makes much of a difference having it or not. I really don't like using, I have like some tinted primers for your eyelids. I really don't like those. I don't know what the point of those is. Having the dark primer on your eyelid, it's like it makes the eyeshadow colors not look as good to me. Okay, so now some foundation. I'm gonna use this Stay Matte Light Porcelain. Pretty much, if there's a foundation for me to buy, I just have to find whatever the palest shade is, and then that's the one for me. So I usually start under my eyes like this. I've tried those like other makeup sponges that became popular several years ago that look sort of like a, well, I don't know what shape. They're more cone shaped, I guess. But I kind of still like these like classic old-fashioned wedges more, because I like how small this part is. I always felt like the tips of the other ones, it's too big and round. But maybe that's just because this is what I'm used to. So it's annoying and takes a lot longer, but it does usually seem to look a little better if you sort of stipple the foundation in like this. Tap, 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 instead of rubbing it around. Too much. I use my nose as like a palette for my mixing of my paint, usually. My under eye area always has the most to cover, I guess, because I get dark circles and puffiness under there. I love putting foundation after the eyeshadow because that way I can wipe away, cover up any mistakes. I have this problematic chin area. This month I even started getting new acne spots on my jawline down here. But I'm supposed to get to go see at this new doctor place I started going to, Command Family Medicine. A couple of my friends go there, and they recommended it because I'm self-employed, so like I can't usually go to the doctor. But they have a hormone person there, and so I'm supposed to go see that hormone person to see if there's anything wrong with my hormones right now. That will be really interesting. I think that's so fascinating to find out like what's going on inside of your body. Oh, foundation is like the most boring part. My one friend Katie was just saying that it's like takes forever. And it's so tedious. I had this friend in high school. She was like older than I was. Like I was maybe 8th grade, and I went to an ACE school, so we had an upper learning center, and so 8th grade through 12th grade were all in the same learning center. So I was only in 8th grade, or 7th through 12th, I mean, not 8th. And so, I mean, like if I met her now, it would seem like we were the same age, but you know how it is at that time in life. It's like somebody who's a few years older than you, it seems like they're so mature and experienced, and oh, I got way too much foundation, unfortunately. But she seemed like, because she was a senior, she seemed so grown up, and she knew really how to do her makeup and everything. And I remember one time we went to something called convention, which is you stay overnight on a college campus for about a week, I think. And so I saw her take her makeup off, and I was shocked to see she had a bunch of acne under her makeup, and I had no clue. She covered it like so expertly with concealer and stuff. I have never gotten that good. You can always still see mine under my makeup. But I remember being like so impressed by that. I had no idea she even had any pimples under there. She did a great job disguising them. Power of makeup. Okay, I can't really see that great in this camera actually. So I'm going to just double check in the mirror and make sure there's nothing terrible going on. Okay, so here's the main point of this whole thing. The mascara. This is my favorite mascara. Good old-fashioned Maybelline Great Lash. I get Blackest Black. So since I am not trained in makeup, never went to school for it or anything like that, all I can tell you is like the tips that I've read in magazines or seen in tutorials that have been useful for me. So for the top lashes, I take the brush, I put it at the base of my lashes like this, and then I wiggle it back and forth. So I don't just go straight through like that. I like wiggle it and then kind of like let the lash fall out of the brush on its own. I don't really decide when the lash leaves the brush. I find it helpful sometimes to, sorry, because I'll just see up my nose, to put my head backwards like this to really get up in here while I'm wiggling back and forth like that. And I try to really pay attention to the corners. So the inside and the outside corners have all these tiny little lashes. And then now you see I am just going like straight through Make sure it's all, there's mascara covering everything. And see this, like I'll get it in the wrong place sometimes. And I use my sponge as an eraser to get rid of it. I usually do both top lashes first, I guess, in hopes of letting them dry a little bit before moving on to the bottom lashes. And I kind of do this where I like start with my eyes open a lot of times and then kind of blink my eyes closed rather than moving my hand that's holding the wand. Oh wow, I did the same thing twice today and got the little bonus dot of mascara. On the outside corner, sometimes I do like take the tip of the brush and kind of pull through like that, like this, instead of like the whole wide brush. Seems like that can make it easier to sometimes get some of the smaller lashes. Get that little accident. And then look at that, see the powder is doing like I said. Sometimes I don't mind if it kind of comes under the lid like that. It can look kind of nice sometimes. But sometimes it just looks messy. Okay, now the bottom lashes. Ready, Alyssa? Buckle up for this. I get annoyed because I always get mascara up here from the tips of my lashes, which my lashes aren't even that long, so I don't know why. Oh, it's kind of annoying. So I will try to get the lashes up off of my skin because that's the tricky thing. You don't want to get it like all over your skin. And I do kind of like angle my face like this towards the mirror. I put the brush right at the base of the lash line like this. I have the eyeliner tattoo, so that's why it's already dark. And I do the same thing, I wiggle it. Now with the bottom, I sometimes do more like a circle instead of just a wiggle, more like a circle like this. And I just keep bending my head to try to lift the lashes off of my face. And then here, see, like you have to angle the brush kind of. This little lash here always gives me problems. I use the tip again on the outside corner. And do it again for the other one. I do this sometimes too, where I take the tip and just like rub it back and forth like that. I had this friend in high school, different friend. She actually did go to cosmetology school, and she was like an upperclassman as well. And she was so good at the trick of like getting these lashes here to really be long compared to the others. It's like a really cute look. I've never mastered that, but I hope one day I learn the trick for that. Okay, so just get rid of the bad parts that might have happened. and blush. I have this CoverGirl Classic Color Rose Silk. And I don't usually use these brushes. They seem way too small. I have this one from Bare Minerals. It's supposed to be for blending your mineral veil. The Flawless Face brush. I just try to paint my cheekbones red, or rose silk, I guess. Oh, my foundation is kind of extra thick today because I put too much. That's okay. It's hard to be perfect, so sometimes you just have to accept that your makeup won't always be perfect and be fine with it, I guess. I read in this book from How to Do Makeup that was like from, I think, the 80s. It was like an old library book. That was how I learned a lot about how to do makeup. I would go to the library and check out books. But I think most of those books I was reading were from the 60s to the 80s. Well, I know they were because those were the dates. I wasn't really allowed to read teen magazines, although I did sometimes sneak them at the library when I was there. If I was there by myself, we'd walk there sometimes because it was just down the street when I was living in Monette and it was air conditioned in there. And so if my parents weren't there, sometimes I did read 17 magazine or Cosmo. I don't think my parents ever actually told me I wasn't allowed to read them. I just knew that they wouldn't want me to, so it felt like maybe it was okay to sneak them. Since I hadn't actually been told. But I know they wouldn't have wanted me to. And then I usually just like kind of try to make sure I didn't get any blush kind of out of the lines. And I just blend it with that bigger brush. Then this finishing powder finally I got at the store. I was out for a while. Clean Professional Loose Powder, translucent. And I love this stuff. This, I could tell from my little videos that I made last week during lessons, or the last few weeks, I could really tell that I didn't have this. I see such a difference in my complexion and the way my skin looks if I use this or if I don't use it. I don't know if it's enough of a difference that other people would use it, but it looks so much softer and like smoother and nicely finished, in my opinion. And of course, nothing about makeup is natural, but it kind of looks more natural to me. Oh, and we need lipstick. I don't remember if I used this one before. I was trying not to use all the same things. Love Pop. It's from it has a C. I don't know. I can't read what it says. Clinique. I got this from my Ulta order. I think this color looks pretty natural on me. Well, not natural, really. I mean, look how much my lips don't really show up much. I start in my cupid's bow and drag it across, and then I usually start in the same spot again and go this way. Try to make sure this V is symmetrical. And I start in the corner, and other corner. And then it's hard to make it symmetrical. I usually do take my sponge and try to make sure the line is smooth. Sadly, this never used to be a factor for me, but now that I'm getting older, I have to be careful, because once you get older, you start getting like lines, little lines all around your lips, and then the color goes up into the lines, and then you have like little streaks all around your lips. So if you were young, now you know you have that to look forward to. I'm talking to you, Alyssa and Katie, because I'm assuming you'll probably watch this too. And so that's my face. I would wear this probably not if I was performing in like a special recital, like a solo type recital, like a faculty recital or a jury or platform type recital. But I would wear this like for a studio recital that I'm attending but my students are performing in, or I would wear this like I'm going to wear this just to teach in today. It's kind of I think this eye makeup is kind of dramatic, so I would wear it for an event, but I also think it's kind of subtle and natural enough that you could wear it for every day. Oh, and I usually do kind of add a little more blush after I do the powder, just to be sure, because my face is so pale, like it kind of looks better with a little color added to it. All right, so here's my bottom lashes. Mascara really makes a difference for me because my lashes are not long or thick and they're a very pale color, so they don't show up without mascara. You just don't, it looks like I don't have any eyelashes really. But it might not have as dramatic of an effect for everybody. But that's how it looks, up close and personal.